Hey guys, so we're gonna jump right into things because we actually have a lot to cover. There's a lot of stuff here. Look, there's 3 new units. This never happens anymore. We never get 3 new characters at once anymore. So we're just gonna jump right in. I'm just gonna start with Beast Gohan. We're gonna be breaking down all the new incoming characters from Superhero today. Obviously, we'll start with Beast Gohan. He is a blue melee type character. Now, we know a little bit of what this guy is going to be doing from the reveal yesterday or earlier today, wherever you are in the world. I will tell you right now, this guy seems like he's probably going to be the best in the game. Just straight up. Just straight up tell you that. All right, so let's go ahead and see his max stats here. Remember, this is without the title boost applied. Oh my God. Okay, so he'll be at over 260,000 to both offenses, and his defenses, I mean, he'll be 175 at least to both defenses. Whew, okay. His HP's looking pretty good too. This guy might have the best stats for a non-Zenkai, non-Ultra character. That's okay. Sure. He holds a strike and a blast, the 10% damage inflicted for 10 timer counts. So obviously he's on Hybrid Saiyans, Sun Family, and Sagas from the movies. All right, so let's check his arts cards. We don't really know what these do yet because obviously he didn't tell us yesterday. Strike. Oh, he actually has blast armor on his strikes. I didn't even realize that. Okay. I did not realize he had blast armor. That's good to know. All right, so blast armor on strike cards. Blast inflicts enemy attribute downgrade plus 10 to all arts costs for 3 counts. Not really a crazy blast effect here. I mean, I guess it's okay for the first card, because typically when you finish a combo with a blast card, your opponent has like a second just for the animation to finish up, and then they get to start attacking you. So this is really only going to be applicable for like the first card your opponent is going to use on you post combo. So it's not really that crazy, but all right. Violet Beast Kick is the blue card here. All right, so okay, we got a lot going on here. This is probably the longest blue card text in the game. If unique gauge is full, actually, let's start with if unique gauge is not full. So unique gauge is not full. Massive impact damage, and then 30% of special move damage inflicted for 3 counts, and blast armor. Already very strong. That's already going to do a ton of damage. So I don't really have any complaints about that. If unique gauge is full, massive impact damage, resets own unique gauge to 0 and applies the following effects to self upon activation. 60% to special move damage inflicted, 70% vanishing gauge restoration, and goes type neutral. Okay. It's pretty stupid. This being on activation is really good because it means he's going to be able to get his vanish back if the enemy dodges this, right? All right, that's pretty stupid. All right, the green card, this is also going to be pretty important to see what this does. Ferocious Awakening. Let's start with if the unique gauge is not full. Randomly draws 1 new card, 30 key, and then 30% damage inflicted. It's actually not too crazy. I mean, it's good. Like, it has all the basics. Draws you a card, gives you key, 30% damage inflicted, and it's a stop time. So that's good. Unique gauge is full. It resets its own unique gauge to 0. Destroys all of your enemy's cards, activates twice. Randomly draws 1 new card, 50 key, 40% damage inflicted, nullifies own unfavorable element factors for 5 counts, and then he gets Vanish Gauge back on the green card as well. Vanish Gauge back on the green card as well. All right, it's pretty dumb. And then the ultimate is the Explosive Beast Rush, deals supreme damage, 40% ultimate damage inflicted for 3 counts, nullifies endurance. Also applies the following effects to self if there is a defeated battle member. He restores 70% vanishing gauge again, and then draws 4 new cards, and then blast armor. It's a lot of stuff. So he does want a defeated battle member for this, obviously, which makes sense. But even if he doesn't have a defeated battle member, still doing 40% ultimate damage and then supreme. Okay, sure. All right, what's his main ability? Okay, then guess it's my turn. Draws the ultimate arts card, Explosive Beast Rush next. Restores own health by 30% and key by 50. Wow. He gets minus 100% enemy sustained damage cut. That is a really, really powerful effect. 100% enemy sustained damage cut. That's for 15... Because this isn't even tied to the ultimate. This is just on main ability. you can continue comboing with this character when you pop the main ability and then like finish the combo with the ultimate. All of his attacks are going to be ignoring 100% of the enemy sustained damage cut. That's crazy. Cancels own attribute downgrades of normal conditions. The following effects also occur if there is a defeated battle member. Reduces enemies' Dragon Balls by 2 and then just gets 20% damage for 30 counts. All right. Z ability, 30% to Hybrid Saiyan or episode sagas from the movies. Or Sun Family based strike attack and defense, and then 18% to Hybrid Saiyan blast defense. Really nice Z ability. This is kind of different than the Z abilities we've been seeing recently, because a lot of the Z abilities we've been getting recently have been like plus 3% to strike damage or blast damage or whatever to a certain tag, but this one doesn't have that. Okay. The Awakened Beast is the first unique ability. Applies the following effects to self when battle starts. So charges unique gauge by 100%. This is actually, I think it's just too good. The fact that he starts the battle with that. But we'll go back to that in a second. 90% of damage inflicted, 60% reduced damage received, -5 to arts cost, and then card draw speed. That -5 to arts cost is going to be really strong because he's going to be able to get double card draw speed through his unique gauge filling up. Applies the following effects to self when when this character enters the battlefield. 40 key, 60% damage inflicted, nullifies unfavorable element factors for damage sustained 10 counts for 5 times, nullifies attribute downgrades of normal conditions for 10 counts 5 times. Following effects occur if this defeated battle member, he destroys one enemy card, heals by 25% HP, and then reduces damage received by a further 10%, which is a permanent buff. Also draws a special arts card next if there is a defeated Piccolo or Pan battle member. So clearly wants to be used alongside a Piccolo or a Pan. Following effects occur when changing cover. So he has the UI Goku Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta cover change, but he can actually combo this into a blue card, which obviously Gogeta and UI Goku cannot do. So it's even better than their cover changes. Shortens own subcount by 3 when an enemy uses a special move, Awakened, or Ultimate Arts card. Applies the following effects to self when an enemy activates Rising Rush. He gets 30% HP and Endurance, so literally LFG earns a mechanic. Charges on unique gauge every time this character uses an arts card while they are on the battlefield. Applies the following effects to self once unique gauge is full. Again, we don't really know how fast this is going to fill up, but now we understand the way this works is he actually has a full unique gauge at the start of the battle, which means you're going to be able to get all these buffs immediately when the battle begins, on top of the fact that you can already start the battle with a charged up blue card or a charged up green card ready to go because he has his full gauge. So imagine, this is the scenario I'm picturing in my head, right? You start the match and you lead with Beast Gohan. Beast Gohan starts the match with a full unique gauge. He's going to be able to grab all of these buffs down here from having the full unique gauge at the very beginning of the battle. And if you start with a green card in your hand, you're going to be able to pop this and pretty much just kill anything. You're destroying your entire enemy's hand. You're getting 40% damage, you're type neutral, and like if you see any exclamation point, you win the game pretty much. You win the game in like the first count of the match. Because at this point, you're having double card draw speed. Let me just go back down here. You get double card draw speed, 25% more damage, double, nullify special cover changes, and you're going to be able to just combo for like 10 years long, and the enemy can't do anything because they can't cover against you. So, the only thing this guy's not doing is like locking in. That's the only thing he's not doing. He's doing everything else. Like this guy's just too good. This guy's just too, I don't know. What are they doing? All right, let's take a look at Pan. Pan is interesting. She's a support type character, red. Stats are, okay. So offenses, I wasn't really expecting much just because support characters typically tend to not have the greatest stats here, but defensively, she's looking pretty solid. Again, this, blast defense is going to jump up to like 175. Strike defense is going to jump up to like 173-ish, something like that. So defensively, she's looking pretty good. Here are her cards here. 20% strike damage for 2 counts, and then a blast card. She actually gets strike damage up. 5% of damage inflicted by allies for 30 timer counts upon activation. Wow. 30 counts? That is a nuts strike card effect. 5% damage inflicted by allies for 30 counts. That's okay. What the hell? Is this the same thing for Blast? Yeah, the same thing for Blast as well. Okay, that's... Sure. that is crazy. The Maiden Rush deals massive impact damage, increases own Dragon Balls by 1 upon activation. Activates 3 times. Kind of reminds me of the Red 21's blue card, but this is obviously a melee-based blue card. Shorten substitution count by 5 to self on hit. That is the red LF grade 8 Vegeta effect. That's really strong. Wow. Okay. Key control is her green card. Reduces enemy key by 35. Inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade minus 1% to key recovery for 3 timer counts. Inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade minus 20% to health restoration for 30 timer counts. Seals all enemies main abilities for 10 timer counts. Activates 3 times, and then shortens ally sub count by 3. The one thing it's missing is just key restoration, which I think this should have key restoration on it, but the shortened sub count by 3, and then the sealing of main abilities is really strong, so I'm okay with that. Main ability is Energetic Young Lady. Randomly destroys 2 of your own cards and draws a special move and a special arts card. Wow. That's obviously for Beast Gohan. That's obviously meant for Beast Gohan. Restores own key by 50. Shortens ally sub count by 3. Nullifies own unfavorable element factors for 60 counts. Damn, okay. And then she gets 60 counts of card draw speed as well. That's really good. And then she's giving 20% to HP for hybrid Saiyans or movies. And then Sun Family gets an extra 20% to base critical. That's definitely interesting. I mean, this is the new go-to HP buffer for movies and hybrids, right? That's pretty good. Actually, is it? I think Goku technically probably is still better HP for movies, just because he gives the extra strike damage to leader slot. And I would obviously take the strike damage over critical. So, but for hybrids, she should be the main go-to. Earth's Strongest Little Girl applies the following effects to self per battle member when battle starts: 25% damage inflicted, 20% reduced damage received, 20% key recovery, and then 25% to special move damage. Obviously, if you have a full, party of 3 units, you're going to be multiplying those numbers by 3. Applies the following effects to all enemies when this character enters the battlefield. Now, this is interesting to me. This is the first time we're seeing this. And a character that is able to debuff the damage that specific cards do. Inflicts attribute downgrade minus 10% to strike and blast arts power for 20 counts. Minus 20% to special move, ultimate, and awakened arts power for 20 counts. And then she's also, have to give every character the anti-Bardock tech, 30% to crit rate for 20 counts. But this is going to be... I want to see how much this actually does affect the damage these cards are doing, because this might be the way that they're moving forward with defensive power creep here. Just because the way power creep has worked in this game... Let me put my phone down for a second. The way power creep has worked in this game is offensive power creep here is just outpacing defensive power creep. So, they start at the same level. This is how it's been going. They're both moving up, but offensive power creep is just eclipsing defensive power creep by a wide margin. And this, I think, is the way that they're trying to sort of fill in this gap here. So we'll see if that works effectively for them. Applies the following effects to allies when this character switches standby. 40 key is a lot. That's a lot. 40 key. Because most characters are getting key on switch in anyway. So you're combining 40 key with whatever the key that the other character's getting. Another character's getting 40 key on switch in. This is 80 key you're getting on switch in. That's crazy. And then she has the Vado stacking damage support whenever she switches up to 50%. And then she's giving health restoration up to 20% as well to the whole team. So that's really nice. Thoughts of Papa is her second unique ability here. She does have a cover change against strike cards, obviously comboable with the blue card. Following effects occur every time when hit with an enemy strike, blast, or special arts attack while this character is in the battlefield. All enemies inflicted with 2 subcounts. I think this is the antithesis of the Cooler effect. Cooler locks you in with strike cards. Pan locks you in when she gets hit. But it's once only. So it's really only going to be effective for the first arts card. You're not going to be able to switch out after that one card, but it's still effective, I think. Reduces enemy's key by 15, activates 6 times. That's definitely really annoying. And then shortens allied character Gohan or Piccolo sub count by 1. That is really good because remember, Gohan does end up getting the Rising Rush endurance mechanic. So if the enemy rushes after comboing Pan, most likely you're going to be able to switch into Beast Gohan and then tank the rush with his endurance. Applies the following effects to allies after enemy attack is over. 30% damage for... That's a lot. 30? You get tap attacked. You're giving 30% damage to the whole team. That's a lot. You're healing by 5% to the whole team, and then you're canceling attribute downgrades, activates 6 times. This Pan, honestly, this Pan's probably going to be a staple on every single one of her teams. Hybrids, movies, and Sun Family. I can definitely see it. All right, let's take a look at Piccolo, the final new character. This is Power Awakening Piccolo, otherwise known as, Potential Unlocked Piccolo, Ultimate Piccolo, whatever you want to call him here. He's a purple range type. Here are her stats, fully soul boosted and stuff like that, 14 stars. So he's probably looking at very close to 260,000 offense for Blast. Honestly, a little bit lower than I would have thought, but definitely not bad. Defensively, he's looking pretty solid. All these characters' defenses are looking good. I'm happy about that. He has a Strike and a Blast card. Kind of surprising he has both. I was kind of hoping he would just have Blast, because Regen at this point is definitely more Blast-oriented. You have Kid Buu and like Buhan. That's who you're probably going to run this unit with. Strike card that reduces enemy ki by 20. Okay. Not really that great, but well, whatever. So obviously he's on movies, he's on Regen, and that's pretty much it. I mean, he's on Super Warrior, sure. Super Warrior helps for like equipment purposes, but that's really it. Normal Strike, normal Blast. The blue card is the Demon Stone Rend. So this is a charging forward blue card, melee-based blue card. Massive impact damage, 20% of special move damage inflicted for 5 counts, and then he shortens ally sub count by 5 when he lands this. That's pretty good. And then cancels enemy attribute upgrades twice. That's also really good. This is a pretty powerful blue card, but you have to land it because it's a melee-based one. Green card is New Frontier of Power. Restores on health by 15%, ki by 30. 25% to damage inflicted for 10 counts. Cancels own attribute downgrades and abnormal conditions. Pretty basic, but it's not bad. What I would have liked to see from what I would have liked to have seen from this is him drawing a card from this. That would have been better, but it's not bad. Then the ultimate is the Special Beam Cannon. It's not very often we see like a 1% sparking that releases next to an LF that has an ultimate, so this is pretty good. Deals massive pierce damage, applies the following effects to self-upon activation. 50% ultimate damage for 3 counts, and then it nullifies endurance. And then on hits, he's destroying all cards, and a 100% chance to inflict extreme bleed. Okay, with blast armor. Extreme bleed's pretty good. Alright, the main ability, this is not going to end the way it did before. Draws the Ultimate Arts card, Special Beam Cannon, 30% health, 40 ki. Oh, he gets his full Vanish gauge back. That's really good. So Regen at this point is like the Vanish Restoration King. Kid Buu with his green card, and then just natural Vanish Restoration. You have Red Buhan, who's restoring Vanish every time he uses a Blast card. And I have this Piccolo, who restores his Vanish 100% through his main ability. So that Regen team is actually going to be relatively annoying to fight, I think, at this point. Then he gets minus 50% to enemy sustained damage cut effects. Again, a really powerful mechanic. When you ignore any portion of the enemy sustained damage cut effects, that is a strong ability. All right, then Z ability. This guy definitely has more of a modern Z ability, I would say, when you compare it to like Beast Gohan. 3% to blast arts damage inflicted by episode sagas from the movies. 35% to episode sagas from the movies, Regen, or Super Warrior base strike and blast attack. Okay. Ready for any threat is the first unique ability. Start of battle, he gets 80% damage, 60% reduced damage received, and then minus 10 to blast arts cost. That's a lot. Minus 10 is very good. Following effects also occur if there is a tag Hybrid Saiyan, tag Regen, or a Super Warrior battle member other than this character in the party, which should be very, very easy to do. I mean, you're not really going to be using this character on a team that doesn't have like a Hybrid or a Regen character. I mean, I guess they're trying to deter you from running this guy on like a movies team with like Broly and Cooler, I guess. But I don't know. This doesn't really seem like it would work that well because this guy's, again, blast oriented. He gets 50% damage. He afflicts enemy with attribute downgrade, -1 card draw speed, and then +10 to all arts cost for 30 counts. So he's basically entering the battlefield with, 130% damage. That's pretty good. Following effects occur when this character switches to standby. He actually heals allies by 5%, which is meant to pair up well with Pan's increased HP restoration. Activates 6 times. Then he gives 20% of damage inflicted by allies, so he's also supporting the team. And then he's reducing enemy ki by 20. Restores allied character Gohan or character Pan health by 20% when this character is defeated. So he dies, he's healing the Pans and Gohans on your team. Not a crazy death buff mechanic, but it can be helpful. All right, second unique ability is Hidden Power Unleashed. Randomly destroys 2 enemy cards when changing cover. Knocks enemy back to long range if a cover change performed against their strike attack. So both him... So I guess all 3 of the new characters have a strike cover change, but then Gohan also has a blast one as well. Applies the following effects to self when this character enters the battlefield. He draws a green card next, activates twice, which can be pretty helpful for Beast Gohan. Dude, all of these characters are force drawing green cards. Have you guys noticed that? Because Gohan, doesn't he force draw 2 greens when there's a dead ally? I think he does. Let me just see. Yeah, also draws a special arts card if there is a defeated Piccolo or Pan battle member. No, activates once. Okay, so he's force drawing a green card. Pan is force drawing a green card and a special move through her main ability. And this Piccolo is also drawing activates twice. He's drawing 2 different green cards whenever he enters the battlefield. So a lot of green card draws here. He's getting 20 key back. He's doing 100% next blast arts damage inflicted, and he's getting extra card draw speed. So he is... Does he get double card draw speed anywhere? I don't think so. I think that's just one instance of... I mean, that's still good. Applies the following effects to enemy when this character lands a strike or a blast card. Increasing attribute downgrade, or inflicts attribute downgrade 10% to damage received and minus 20% to health restoration for 15 counts. And then the following effects occur when enemy attack is over. He's locking them in for 3 counts and then restoring own ki by 20. So this is kind of like the LF Bardock, Kale and Khalifa mechanic, where when the enemy attacks you, they're going to be locked in for 3 counts, which is actually a pretty annoying ability. So this guy I think does look pretty good. If I had to rate like these 3 units, I would probably say Gohan number 1. Pan to me seems like she'll probably be number 2, and then Piccolo's still going to be really strong, but he's probably, I think, number 3 here. But I think all 3 of these characters look really good. Let's take a look and see what kind of new equipment we have here. All right, so if we go to archive, we should have gotten a few new ones. Okay, so there's one. What is this? This is Sagas from the Movies and Hybrids. Gee, I wonder what that's for. 10% special move damage, 30% to base strike attack, and then up to 10% to damage to powerful opponent for 60 counts. That's a lot of offense. This is obviously a very offensive equipment. So they're kind of designating this as like equipment that you want to be using on Beast Gohan. I will counter this by saying that Beast Gohan has so many insane equipment. He's on hybrids, Sun Family, and movies. You understand how ridiculous his equipment options are going to be? Like, if you have the best equipment for him, this is not going to be a factor. But I think, like, maybe if you're somebody who's newer to the game or doesn't really invest that much time into equipment, this could be a decent option for him. But there's better things that exist for him. Is that it? Is there going to be... Oh, what is this? Just sagas from the movies. Unique equipment. All right. 10% base health. We're already off to a good start with that one. So then they're getting base blast attack up to 12% and up to 12% to pure blast when tag regen as a battle member. And then base strike up to 12 and then 12% to pure strike when hybrid Saiyan is a battle member. That's interesting. I kind of like that. Again, for like Beast Gohan specifically, I don't know if I would really use this on him because he, I think, has too many good equipments already accessible, but this seems pretty damn good. Obviously, it's very restrictive because you have to be, number 1, a movies character, and then number 2, you have to be running both a hybrid Saiyan and a regen battle member, so we'll see. This is interesting. I kind of do like the way they handle this, though. I think it looks pretty good. Do we have any other awakened equipments or anything? I don't think so. I think because the rush hasn't reset. Let me just make sure. Yeah, that is it. Okay. So there we go. That is all we have for this week. It looks like, don't forget, we also do have like the rating coming, the new event as well. I will be covering all that stuff as soon as it drops. Let me know down below what you guys think of Beast Gohan. I'm still kind of, in disbelief that they're actually dropping this guy right now, but it's going to be a hype few days here. Once this guy gets implemented, we're able to test him out, see how good he is, but seems to me like he is a pretty comfortable number 1 in the game. I mean, this guy is doing everything. He's going to be really good defensively. He's going to be really good offensively. He has pretty much all the tools that you would need to dominate, so looking like a runaway for this Gohan here, but hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all in the next one.